Hey everyone, my name's Samuel Cook. I'm a London-based photographer from Australia. I have been into photography for about 4 or 5 years now. I started off with a GoPro before progressing to my first DSLR, which was a Nikon D5200 with a little kit lens. And then I started getting a bit more serious and invested in my first full frame, which was a Nikon D750. And I've recently just invested into a Nikon D850. I sort of specialise in travel / landscape and automotive photography. Really enjoy automotive photography. Helicopters and cars are sort of my passion at the moment. So I just wanted to introduce myself before we got into the video today. In this video today, I am going through the edit of a photo I did of a little Audi A1. Me and my housemate went to Wales back in July this year when we were able to. So nice summer day, we were driving through some Welsh back roads. It was beautiful countryside where we had, these beautiful green hedges and that beautiful afternoon golden hour glow. So with this photo, I don't exactly love it. The raw photo straight out of camera, the composition is off. The car is right in the middle of the photo. I initially did my edit and I thought, again, I don't love it. It's not really for me. But I went through my photos again a couple of weeks ago and I decided to have another go at re-editing it. And I really liked the final product. So I thought I'd share it with you and sort of get your opinions on it. The photo I was lucky enough to have shared by Audi UK Press on their Instagram page, which is great. I really love that when I see other users sharing my stuff. So let's get into it and see what you think, and comment below as we go if you have any questions, and let me know what you think of the final product. Final product. I thought I'd show you before we get into the raw. Now let me just switch over to the raw product. So this is it. As you can see, the car's smack bang in the middle of the photo. We've got quite a lot of dead space around here. And as you can see over here, my shutter speed was so low considering I'm at 155 millimeters. I do like the S curve here going into the path of the road here. I think that's quite nice. And obviously we've got the nice golden hour light here. This is again the final product. So let's get into it and I'll show you how I've edited it. So I'm a big user of presets, so I've got quite a few down here that I use, and my go-to preset is always this one, car. Now you may think this looks quite terrible, and it does at the moment. Now the first thing I want to do with this photo is change the white balance and sort of bring out more of the orange that I was talking about before. So I'm going to turn this up to about 6500, and as you can see, that sort of brings onto the green here, the green grass here, and it really emphasizes that nice afternoon light. Again, I think this is too purple at the moment, so I'm going to bring down the tint here, and I'm going to put that at about 10. So I think that looks quite nice. As I said, again, it brings out those greens, but doesn't overdo it too much. Okay, I think this exposure as well needs to be brought up just a little bit. Let's put it at 0.25. I think that's quite good. All right. Now, another thing I want to do is, I'm going to come back to the rest of this stuff in a minute, but one thing I really want to do first is transform. So this is what I use for cropping your images. By doing the transform, you don't actually lose any pixels. You're just expanding the photo in the photo itself. So I'm still going to have the same pixel ratio on export that I did on import. So it's a much better way to edit your photos than to crop them down and reduce your pixel size. So with this one, I'm going to put up at about 106. Okay, and the offset here. So you've got your x-axis and your y-axis. So your y-axis is going to bring it down more or up more. Okay, so I'm going to put this at about, I'm trying to get the car into that lower right corner a bit more. So I'm going to just bring it up sort of as much as I can here. I might even scale it up just a little bit further so that I can go a little bit up more. And also with the x-axis, as I said, you can go left or right with this. And I do kind of like it over about there. Maybe I want to scale it up even further here so that I can bring it down. There we go. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. Now, next thing I want to do, I really like playing with the calibration here. Now with this photo, as you can see, it brings out the different colors of, you know, you're changing the hue of this essentially. So with this one, I want to go, I think I like it about there. I also change the red as well, which kind of brings out the greens a bit more. So I'm going to change that to about 10. I think you don't want to overdo it, and less is more. This preset has a grain on it. Again, that's purely dependent on what you like. I tend to have it 10 as standard, but I generally like to bring that down a little bit. All right. So next thing I want to do is put a radial filter on a few things here. So to start with, I want to do the car. Okay. The beauty with radial filters is you literally just have it calibrated to where you want it. So with this particular one, I'm going to invert it so that it affects just the car, the circle itself. Okay. I want to up my exposure on this. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up, put it about there. That's quite good. So I'm going to add some shadows in as well. Cool. So as you can see, that's a big difference from what it was to what it is now. Okay. I actually think I need to reduce the saturation just a little bit in that. There we go. So I'm quite happy with that one. Yeah, no, I'm going to leave it as is. So you're going to put the temperature back to 0. All right. So I'm going to do another one. Okay, so I want to highlight this up here and I want to make it quite orange and really emphasize that sunset that we've got here. So to start with, I'm going to do a smallish one purely where the sun is. Okay, and with that I'm going to increase the temperature. So I'm going to increase that to about, sorry, I need to invert it as well. Just going to bring that right up. Okay. And with that, I kind of want to increase the exposure of it as well to really emphasize it, bring it out and bring out that orange. So I'm going to put that up to about there. That looks quite good. The highlight's already blown, so I'm not really too worried about overdoing it with that one. So with the next one, I'm going to go a little bit bigger. And I'm going to bring that over the top of around here. Okay. So with that, I'm going to put the exposure up again. And sorry, I need to invert it. So bring the exposure up again. And the temperature as well. So the temperature is the key thing to getting that really golden glow that you want in this photo. Well, that I want anyway. Okay, so I think that's about right there. Now the next one is, it's going to be quite a large one to here. Again, I'm going to invert it. Now this one I want to really bring up the temperature on it. Okay. So I'll have it about there. I'm also going to increase the exposure on it to bring out the highlights on here. Okay, and I might even just, no, I'm not going to touch that. Okay. That looks looking good, I think, for the sky. One thing I might do as well is put in a graduated filter here just to bring down the exposure of the foreground leading up to the car. And that sort of gives it a nice pop, and it makes the car stand out quite significantly. And then obviously you've got the nice sky here. It draws your attention towards that. Now, the luminance is, I think, quite an important part of this photo. So what you want to really do is, you're either going to reducing those colors or you're going to be increasing them. So I'm just going to go through and have a play with this and see, you can see where each slider affects. So you can see on the lights here that they're really popping when I pull up the slider here. Now the oranges, we have quite a significant amount of oranges here, but I do want to make this a very vibrant and really emphasize the time of day, that golden hour. So I'm going to bring those up quite a bit as well. And the yellows, again, you can see just what that does on sort of these highlights here when you bring those up. Obviously, you don't want to do too much, so I'm going to bring that down to about say 11. I think 11's okay there. Greens, again, look at the difference you can make. So let's make those stand out a little bit more. It sort of leads the path down to where you're going, and it makes it quite nice. So the blues on this one, there's not many aquas, so I can kind of bring those down, I think, to be honest. The blue here, that looks a bit, it just changes the color, and you don't want that at all. So I'm gonna sort of bring that up, brighten it up a little bit, make it stand out a little bit further. So another thing I want to do here is your color grading. I again use this on pretty much all of my photos, hence why I've got it in my preset. Now with this one, I want to make the shadows warm, and I really want to make sure that they are sort of complementing this sky, okay, and just really adding value to the photo, or adding the warmth, etc. So with this one, I think if I turn it up, you can really see when you turn it up what you're doing, and then you can sort of tailor it according to that. So with this, I think that if I have it at about 44 is quite nice. I can just bring that down to a point where I think is kind of appropriate. So I think around 30 is quite nice. So you can see it quite a lot down here in the shadows. And we're going to do the same for the highlights. So again, once you ramp it up to 100, you can see exactly where it's going to affect. So with this one, I think again I want to kind of match the color of that last one. So we'll have the hue at 44 and return, so keep that saturation about the same as well, around the 30s, mid 30 mark. With this as well, you can change the luminance of it if you want to make it brighter. I actually don't mind that a little bit brighter. I think it's quite nice. With the shadows, again, you can bring that down, or if you want, you can bring it up. So I might just pull that up to about 10. I think that's quite nice. Now, lens corrections. The Tamron 70-200, it's got a lot of vignetting on it. And depending on what you want to use it for, it's either very useful or it's not. But I think for this photo that it works quite well. As you can see, if I put on the profile for this one, it really brings out these shadows here, and I think that without it, it's actually a lot nicer. So I'm going to turn that off and have it back to the original there. Down in the effects, I like to add a bit of more vignetting. Again, it just adds a lot of value to your subject. It really draws your attention into it, and it just really adds value to your photo. So I'm a big fan of using that. Now, detail sharpening. If you want to use a sharpening, that's up to you. I've got a little bit of sharpening which is standard for my preset as well. But that's purely dependent on what you'd like to do. Then the saturation, as you can see up here, I've got my saturation down low and my vibrance up high, and I think that really it's a better way of sort of getting your colors right, as opposed to oversaturating your photo and it just looking, you know, fake and poor. Just I really enjoy using the vibrance slider and bringing that up, and yeah, I think that, you know, the coloring on this is quite good, and this is straight out of the preset that I had at 50 and minus 17. With that means I don't really have to adjust the saturations down here, but I mean, you can if you want, and to be honest, I'm doing that now, and making those greens look quite nice. Maybe a little bit of orange. It really depends on how much you want to add to this photo. You can really make it stand out if you'd like. So I think that's quite good. I'm quite happy with that. As you can see, I've got the lines here that, you know, I've just used the clone tool to get rid of that. Now I actually did have to crop this photo in because I think the composition, sorry, is just not right. So I've brought that in a little bit further here, and yeah, I've just tried to get rid of some of the distracting features that you can see in the road here, and down along this point of the road as well. I mean, it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's sort of better than nothing. So yeah, this is the final product. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you learned some stuff from Lightroom that maybe you didn't know before. Or if you're a regular user, then, you know, I'm glad that you came along and watched. Comment down below, let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if there's anything in the future that you would like me to do. As I said, I've linked my website down below, as well as my Instagram pages, so jump on there, give my Instagram a like. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video and subscribe. Thank you.